Hi, and welcome to Gold Mines. Today we're going to be talking about automotive stuff. And for the DIY Car Hunters channel, this will be uploaded there. I just want to let you guys know that we have slowed down operations ever since COVID happened. We have a smaller footprint, but the media department is going a different direction. So if you guys want to follow us on Gold Mines, which is where this show will primarily be hosted, please check us out over there. I'll leave a link in the description, and we'll love to see you guys over there. So today's show is going to be about automotive, and so let's just dive right into it. So we have Dennis here. We also have Max. I'll start with you, Dennis. Dennis, what is your background? Introduce yourself.
I've been in the automotive industry for about 15 years total, and went to school for a few years. Got certified in refinish on fiberglass and metal, and I've worked for dispatch, connecting tows and deliveries from state to state, and just overall mechanic in certain aspects. Take care of the oil changes, refilling the tires, and just grew up around it. And my uncle has been in the automotive industry for probably over 25 years, and I've learned a lot from him. As a kid, I would go over to his shop and hang out with them on the weekends when the parents were busy, and had my brother there too helping out. So we've experienced a lot of different parts of the trade, and even before I got into automotive more professionally, I looked at different schools, and everyone wants to do the easy route, just go to UTI or whatever.
Right.
But it's expensive. You don't want a $40,000-$60,000 debt once you get out. I tried going to community college and taking courses, got certified in a few different areas, and I would recommend that way for most people that aren't used to being around that type of industry. You get to see what works for you, what's good for your skill set, and what you want to expand on. But with community college, it's a lot cheaper, and you could still do probably 80% of the things that you learn at these UTI colleges.
With that said, Max, what's your background, man?
So a lot, like Dennis was saying, grew up around the same stuff with my uncle being involved with body shops. Got into it probably at the age of 12. Got a little wrench, got a little tool set, taking car parts apart, taking headlights apart, just trying to get my foot in, making a couple of dollars for some Snickers, for some Coca-Cola.
Vacuuming the cars for Uncle.
Yeah, vacuuming the cars, detailing them as well at a young age. And that helped out a lot to the future that I'm now, where just the simplest stuff, I don't do detailing, but if I do want to do detailing for myself or my wife, it's something I can do, and it comes out great. It makes the car seem brand new. Sometimes the wife says, "Oh, I want a new car." I'm like, "Oh, let me clean it up. We'll see how you feel." I was like, "Oh, it's like a brand new car." Some stuff as simple as that. It's same thing. You don't want to walk around with dirty clothes.
Right.
You want to stay fresh. But yeah,
Locksmith, that's a good one. You can eventually, after a few years, you can have your own truck, and a van. You're mobile. You don't have to be stationed. And when you're operating out of, you're your own business owner, your overhead's much lower because you don't have to have a physical location, and you operate 24/7 if you want to. And when you get the late night calls, you get better pay. If you can get in the middle of it and make some money, it's definitely a good way to do less labor, physically just being on the road. One of the buddies has a kitchen set up in there. He has a teapot. He has a sandwich, so he's got a nice setup. Yeah.
Office on wheels.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to get into just doing the keys, and specialize in that, what kind of expenses are you looking at?
For the business aspect of the locksmith, I would say you probably need about $50,000 to $70,000 to start that business up. Yeah,
that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Way more than I expected.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of the van, the tools, and it could cost more. It depends on what type of cars and services you're trying to offer. But if you do grow it, you could get into homes and businesses. Like, you make even more money doing locks at businesses, and and those those are a good way to transition into different parts of it. Because once you start getting those calls in, now you're like, oh, do I want this call or do I wait and do this one? You could set up your schedule however you want. It's a lot of benefits, but you'll be working a lot of hours, especially if you want to make that money up. one that I've heard a few times is windshield replacements, like you mentioned. That one's lower overhead because you could get yourself a van that transports it, or a truck that has a rack for 8 to 10 windshields. And most of them, in every city, you'll have a manufacturer where you show up to an industrial area and they have all the glass. They might have it in stock. They might have to order it, but most, probably 80% of the people that do window replacements all get it from that same place.
Yeah.
So that one's nice because you could do it by yourself if you've got some strength and you can, install and remove. But if you got two people, it's a great team. If you have a friend that wants to do a side business, that way you guys could take turns too. Separating the work times for 2 days on, 2 days off, or working together on certain shifts. Because most of the guys that I talk to, they do anywhere from like 6 to 15 windshields a day.
Oh, that's quite a lot. It's like every time I've used the kit, I've always messed it up. How do you apply that kit correctly?
The kit is a resin that enters into the hole.
It's liquid form.
With liquid form, and it bonds with the glass. And pretty much, if you do it correctly, and I've seen it happen on a couple of my cars, will completely disappear the crack. And it can't be, I believe, over...
Like the size of a quarter?
I think, like 1.5 inches. It can't have the hairline spreading out. And it does. It makes it disappear. So you open up that hole. You make sure there's no...
Wait, how do you open up the hole?
With your razor.
Well, you gotta stab it.
You gotta
or something,
slowly
or-
scratch it.
You pretty much pick it out. Like
You
a
pick it.
toothpick.
You scratch it lightly. That way, it allows the liquid to go in farther in.
Yeah. Not only that, you want to make sure to remove all the little pieces
Debris,
of
dirt,
shards
yeah.
that are left. You don't put much pressure on it. You pull it out. And same thing with this kit, because it's on suction cups. Once you put it down, you can't tighten it too hard, because if you do tighten it too hard, you can make the hairline spread farther, which has happened to me.
So we talked about the keying industry, where it's an aspect of automotive. We talked about windshield repair. What else? What other specialties are there in the automotive industry that we could find some of these key takeaways?
Well, there's one that's really good that depends, like he said, how much energy you want to put into. This is a little more energy into it, but something that people constantly need. It's tire repair. So new tires, patch up holes, replacing shocks, brakes, some stuff like that doesn't take too much time, consume too much time. It's something you can do and make a really good profit out of it. And you don't have to do the whole 5 years of mechanic school to be certified to get to that point.
What are the tires that are repairable versus the tires that are not repairable? How do you know which one is and isn't?
So usually you don't want to patch up holes if you're going to do it yourself, patching a hole. You don't want to do patches from the side. I've seen people doing it. It's dangerous. You only want to do it from the actual tire that makes contact with the floor.
If you're going to do a repair on a tire, they have the Walmart kits that you push in yourself, but the best one is when they remove the tire completely.
Yes.
And they stick it on the back of the inside of it. If you tell them, can I get my tire repaired from the inside and not just the regular, they'll do it. A lot of people don't want to do it because you have to remove the tire. But usually, like when I've asked them to do it, the average I've gotten is probably $15 to $20 to get that done, because they have to remove it.
Yeah, realistically, about $25, but it's the right way and it's going to last a lot longer.
That does sound
Buffing, you can ruin your car. You can damage it. You can cut to the clear. You can cut all the way to the metal, because at the end of the day, it's a pad that's spinning at a certain speed, and it does heat up. That's why you lubricate it with
usually
polish.
3,000 RPMs,
Yeah, like with
3,500
polish and all that stuff. I try to do it at 2,500 just in case, not to cut too hard. And
So what is 2,500? What are you talking about?
RPM. That's the speed of the circle.
It's a circle blade that runs with a cloth on top. So you run at a lower speed. So
a lower RPM speed, so it doesn't cut as fast. And if you've never tried it, but they can fly out of your hand. They can go skip across the car.
Yeah.
So
and you have to learn the techniques, just like for anything that you're going to be doing automotive, because your damages can cost you hundreds to thousands of dollars. So
having to repaint the car.
Watch a lot of YouTube videos,
or go get those cutters from Pick and Pull or those HUDs and practice
on the neighbor's car.
So what?
That I say to people, if you're going to be buffing, make sure to tape off all your plastics, because that stuff is very difficult to clean off once it dries.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the plastic, like the little
trim.
strips,
all the trims that goes around a certain keyhole, stuff like that.
Oh, keyholes,
your windshield. Yeah, because once it dries out, they're really hard to remove.
Your emblems in the front and the back. Yeah.
The rubber on the tires, it's horrible.
What about those magic pens? I've heard about them. I've never used one before, but is it even worth it?
You're talking about the paint ones, like to touch up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If it works, I probably need to get one for my own car because
It'll help.
They work really good. Sorry,
Yeah.
they work really good with rock chips. That's one thing that
Yep.
I noticed. That's something that actually disappears with them. Even if it doesn't hide it all the way, you can still see it visible. It's really good to use something like that. It's because it keeps rust from showing up.
Yeah.
Because once that clear coat is
Oh,
gone,
that's
you're prone to
right.
rust.
And then also it'll damage the paint from underneath because now it's exposed and water and rust is spreading underneath the paint.
Oh, so I got to get on it.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah.
So you guys heard it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found a few good takeaways from this podcast. And please join us over there on the Gold Mines channel. This will be posted in both places. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. And we will catch you on the next one. With that, take care.